Michael Klein, CEO of Miraculo, which in Spanish translates, I believe, to miraculous. So let's hear about miraculous. Michael, please take it away.
Thank you, John. Miraculo, yes, Latin for miracle. You are absolutely correct. The goal of the company is to discover underserved audiences within medical cannabis and CBD, scale and monetize those audiences in a variety of ways. Background on me, whoops, where did we go? I actually come from the media and entertainment world. Prior to joining the company 2 years ago as CEO, I was head of original programming and content for a network called MTV. And before that, many other networks, Sundance TV, the Discovery Networks. I also had the opportunity to be part of Condé Nast, home of Vogue, Vanity Fair, GQ, etc., and transform that company from a publishing company to a media company, which is entirely obvious unless you're a publishing company, for those of you that may know. What I did was I built a digital environment to attract new audiences and new revenue streams. We started in 2012. When I left in 2016 for MTV, we had built something that was nearing 1 billion video views a month and representing over 50% of Condé Nast revenue, and it continues to grow. I say that because when I looked at the cultural conversation happening around medical cannabis and CBD, I felt there was a real opportunity here and some clear lanes for us to play where we could grow and monetize audiences. So I'm going to take you through 4 of our verticals today. I'm going to spend the most time on our first vertical, God's Greenery, which is the first business focusing on the Christian community around hemp-derived CBD. Next, Cannabis MD, the global authority on medical cannabis and CBD. And then 2 marketplaces that we've created, Ask CMD and Dankrank. Starting with God's Greenery, we identified this growing current of Christians online talking about hemp-derived CBD as God's gift of healing and part of their wellness regimen. But what we also saw that there was no one place for the community to come together to learn more and share stories. So we launched the platform as a place to do that. What we quickly found out was that there was beyond learning and education, they were ready to convert and they were looking for recommendations. We didn't have a great answer for them. So with that, I went back to the team and I said, can we reward this community by developing products that combine CBD with other plants and herbs with healing properties and specifically for this audience? So we got to work to do that. And in September, we launched the first 3 of our hemp-derived products. Now, the Christian audience, is quite significant. In the US, 205 million people identify as Christian. Inside of that, faith-driven consumers, about 41 million, are looking for brands that share their worldview, 77% of those. And those that do find it will convert and change brands, 84%. They're contributing $2 trillion to the US economy. So there's a real opportunity there to speak to this audience, build this community, and drive engagement. It was designed by experts. Audrey Sommerfeld is my head of strategy. Audrey is an expert from the CPG world, as well as multi-level marketing and direct sales, having been an executive with Herbalife, Visalis, and others for many years. When we looked for a manufacturing partner, we met with Jason Mitchell from Hemp Fusion. Hemp Fusion is not a white label company. You may be familiar with them. They're quite significant within the hemp CBD space. But Jason was driven by faith. And when I told him the story of what we were building, he said, I really, really need to be part of this. So we are the only white label partner that Hemp Fusion has ever had. As I said, we launched our first 3 products in September, the Oil of Gladness, a sleep capsule, and what we call our Fit and Flex capsule. They're available through, with the pipeline of products beyond that, there's any number of herbs and plants referenced in the Bible with properties that we know in combination can have efficacy for individuals. So we've launched this through a direct sales channel. And Barry from Veed talked a little bit about this, about the power of the ambassador program earlier. The direct sales channel means consumers can buy products directly from us at godsgreenery.com, or they can also sign up as an ambassador. By sharing a link with their friends and family, they'll earn a referral fee for any closed sales. It's a great way to earn extra money from home. And importantly, we are giving back 10% of our revenue to local churches and not-for-profits of the choice of individuals. We started recruiting for ambassadors through local churches, community organizations, and colleges. We anticipated somewhere between 10 and 15 ambassadors in our first month or 6 weeks. We have 220. And they fall within the verticals of our audience, which you see here, which is everything from military to moms to entrepreneurs that are looking for additional income. A great example of the power of the program is our own Samantha Stanley. Samantha signed up to be an ambassador 5 weeks ago. She built her own Facebook page with postings and collateral that we've given her, in addition to an Instagram account. She's sending about 120 to 150 people to our platform every week. And she's seeing conversions and building revenue as a result of that. So it's a very, very powerful opportunity, not only to build your community, but to reward your community. And then partnering with those charitable organizations that are also amplifying our message to their constituents. The story's really resonating with media as well, both secular and Christian. What we found, and we may have thought like, oh, when you launch, will we have resistance from the Christian community? We've had none, absolutely none. In fact, what was revealed was, I love CBD. I didn't have a place to talk about it. And now there's a product that it actually speaks to me through a faith lens. So it's been really rewarding in that respect. We're in a pilot right now in fourth quarter. Now, as the products are available across the US, but we're focusing on North Carolina initially from the PR and marketing perspective. The reason for that is you have a population of 10.4 million people. You have a pretty diverse range of metro centers. You have a population as well that 85% consider religion an important part of their lives. So it's a great place to learn. And as we scale, as we move through more southern states from the PR and marketing perspective, and then through 2021, broader across the US. We're gonna shift gears. Cannabis MD, completely different platform. The opportunity I saw here was that there was no one authority voice for a cannabis or CBD curious consumer to learn more about the potential benefits. Cannabis MD is a non-advocacy platform. We don't have a bias towards use. We present both sides of the equation, positive and not so positive, with the goal of empowering consumers to make choices that are right for them. And we talk about our platform as being a safe place to learn. If you look above here, you see images from other platforms that may have smoke or stigmatizing language or weed. Cannabis MD has none of that. It is a pure play, no smoke, no weed, no stigmatizing language. All
Michael,
original
forgive
content.
me, you have 6 minutes left.
Thanks. All original content powered by trust and authority from medical doctors, veterinarians, even cannabis chefs in the space to cover all sides of the equation. Our consumer base, the chief medical officer mom at 35 plus, a healthy ager at 45 plus, and of course, affluent culture millennials, 27 plus, that are really driving the conversation, particularly around CBD. We amplify our message through original content. A couple of examples, our first short film, which we made an exclusive deal with People Magazine, who have millions of monthly subscribers, from there syndicated and to reach 160 million people within 2 weeks. Or a piece of data where we demonstrated that CBD was actually bigger than Beyonce and Kim Kardashian online, that reached 61 million consumers over 2 weeks. What that does is drive interest back to Cannabis MD, where consumers were looking to convert, but we had a problem. We were sending them out into the wilds and the clutter and confusion of where to find a CBD brand, one that breaks through and resonates for them. With that, we created Ask CMD. Ask CMD is a proprietary engine. It's a quiz for consumers who are looking for a CBD product for a particular ailment. But we ask a few more questions around form factor, around their knowledge base, around their taste, flavors, around their taste, other brands. And with that, our AI-driven quiz will surface the most appropriate product for their particular need state. It's an affiliate marketplace. We negotiate deals up to 50%, in some cases more, with consumers. Or with companies. We're helping companies surface their products to consumers. And we're developing, using this proprietary technology, the same idea for the adult consumption market, almost a beginner's guide called Dankrink, where consumers that are curious of now moving into cannabis from a recreational perspective can come answer a few questions. We can surface the relevant accessories for their particular needs. 100% compensation is equity across this team. When I joined and I saw the opportunity, I asked to be paid $1 a year. That's how much I believed in it, in addition to my own personal investment. And I'd managed to recruit individuals from all walks of my network, from Condé Nast to Viacom, et cetera, to help build the story. That is Miraculo.
Thank you. I will now put it out to the investor judges. If anybody has any questions, please unmute. If not, I'll just pick someone and ask you for your opinion. Okay. Let's start with Lindsay.
Well,
Please favor us with a response.
yeah, I like both those products. The Christian market, I didn't know it was as large as it was in North Carolina, but it makes a lot of sense to me. And post-COVID, anywhere in the world, I think our number one focus after the economy will be on wellness. And that serves that market, whether it's Christians or otherwise, I think the market will change. And but I also like the cannabis MD, because even though I spent 40 years on research, I still didn't know as much about the plant until I really got involved in it 4 years ago, and always clamoring for information. And I think that's the biggest problem in our industry, is the lack of education and being able to get, even if a medical doctor wants to find information, they got to do it on their own time. They don't have a lot of time. And this will help speed up the process. There's others out there, but I like it. And
it's filtering the fake news aspect of it as well. You know, we know there's a lot of bad actors out there in the space that are trying to take advantage of consumers, and we can help cut through that.
Tim?
Michael, great presentation. What was your revenue with the CMD or the CBD site, the MD CBD site? And what's your ask?
So we just launched. Thank you. Yeah, we just launched Ask CMD in September as well. So revenue for this year combined with God's Greenery, we roll them all together into Miraculo. It's modest. It's about 100,000 this year, scaling to 3 million next year, and up from there. Our ask is 1 million against a 7 million pre-money. We've raised about 6.2 million since the company was formed in 2017.
Okay, we have 2 minutes left. Carol, do you have any questions? Would you like to ask Michael?
Well, Michael, great presentation. Thank you. Yes, up to date, where have you been able to sell your products within the United States, in Latin America? Where are those markets that have been welcoming your solutions up to date?
So God's Greenery products, we just started selling in September, so it's only been a few weeks. We're only focused on the US. And of course, with the exception of South Dakota, Idaho, and Nebraska, but anywhere else in the US.